Hey up, Duck. How you doing, love? How you doing, love? Hi, guys. Welcome to Sunday's Mark Bayersky YouTube channel chat discussion. What we're having to drink today, we're having natural tea, fresh natural tea. Yeah, fresh natural tea, fennel. Oh my goodness, what else is in here? Oh, there's so many things in here, I can't remember. Mind blank. But look, what does it taste like? Absolutely beautiful. Natural herbs, natural plants. As long as they're not overly evasive, not too heavy, don't drink, like flood your body in it. Your body is a natural healer. It heals all the time. They never want you to know this, of course. They want you to run to a... Shut up, Mark. Don't bother. Don't bother. Where are you? You're on YouTube. They don't really want you to know the truth. What they do is they scan and make sure that whoever's at the top of the podcast are only telling you half truths, always. And they're always guiding you to where they want you to be. That's why they take so many people off who speak the truth. They're frightened of people like me, absolutely terrified, because we don't have a savior. We don't have a religion. We don't have a politician. We know all that to be all bullshit. We call everything out, therefore we are dangerous. You see, the system that is this is the system. Everything is connected. When you go down the rabbit hole, guys, you realize that religion, you realize that politics, you realize that banking, you realize everything is connected. Everything is inverted as well. So, like a great inversion. The church, at the top, it may be love, religion, but underneath, it is Satanism. It's true. At the top, it's LSD, Mormon Church, Latter-day Saint. Okay? Underneath, infiltrated, filled with the worst. Now, my sister's a Mormon. I love her. I know who she is. She's good. She's kind. I know people who work in the highest levels at the front desk of what's called the system. They're lovely. They're wonderful. They do everything to help. But deep inside, the very cesspit of the nature of the system of religion it's inverted. It is dark. It is demonic. And those that control it are literally the worst kind of beings on this planet. You really think that YouTube wants to monetize me? Oh, but everybody else talks about certain things. Yes, they do. But they never, ever explain. They never, ever talk about what it truly is. They'll only give you a soundbite, right? But if you look at them, they push religion, they push politics. They always pull you into politics again. Hang on a minute, what am I watching here? I thought you guys didn't like politics. All you're doing is bringing politicians on. Wake up. Hello, McFly. Anybody in there? No. The lights are on. Nobody's driving that, just the brain. Welcome, everybody. So I suppose I should be a little bit serious, but being a bit serious these days doesn't seem to work too much. It just makes you feel worse. So try and come things at more of a lighter manner. So I want to share with you a little story, and that is a man who is a healer, and he's been a healer for many, many years, and he spends most of his time in a little room, bit of a weird room. It's got kind of like pictures of gods, and he's got like weird things in the room, and his sofa is like pink and blue, and pretty weird guy, and always wears these stupid tops, these silly tops. He always wears these silly tops, and he laughs a lot, and then he gets upset a lot. He's very emotional. He says things that sometimes he didn't mean to say, but generally, those that are of spirit of our world sees him for who he truly is. Through all his flaws, all his mistakes, all the things that he says that we sometimes wish he'd stop talking about. It drives me insane. He's so depressing sometimes. We still come back because we forgive him, and we know that his intentions are not about religion, politics, or money. You will get people who say this guy, oh, he sells expensive crystals, but actually nobody says that when they watch him all the time and realize what he does with one crystal or 10 crystals, and how he works with them, and what he puts into them, and where they go and where they come back from, and so on. So those that know very little about him will instantly say, oh, he's too expensive. No problem. There's a lot more expensive things out there. Like handbags at 50, 100,000. Funny how they don't talk about them. Funny how they don't mention kind of that stuff, right? No, we just have to attack Mr. B that way. So this guy, right, has spent basically more time than I believe. I think there's 10 to 20% in this world that might have spent the same amount of time in a room healing people for, I would say, 12 solid years. Now, that might not seem a lot, but it's 12 solid years every day, even Saturday and Sunday. So what he learned from that, he tries to share with people. Now, here's the difficult part. How can you share with people something that is invisible? How can you share with people something that, if I don't see, how can it exist, and how can I explain it? You can't explain it because it's the in-between is invisible. So what are you talking about? How explain a healing session? Explain over 12 years of me sat here, 13 or 14 years sat here, trying to tell you about how healing takes place. I have to actually explain to people rather than say, like, watch what I'm doing. You'll see, as soon as I start doing it, what happens to the client. You'll see inside all the energy disappearing. You'll see, you can't say that. How can you say that? So you have to either believe what I'm saying, because you don't know it exists, or you believe what I'm saying because you've had a healing session and you know something happens in that healing session. You can't explain it, really. There's no words, but you can feel it, and you know that it's true. You know. And sometimes, like the Joe Rogans and all that, who only allow certain people on their shows, never really truly get into the real crux of everything, all by design, by the way. That's why he's where he is. That he mocks and ridicules. Those who play with crystals. Very clever. Subtle, but enough. So you hold a crystal. What does it do? You look at it. What does it do? Nothing. Here, let me hold a crystal for you. There you go. There's a crystal. What does it do? Well, Mr. Bayersky can make up stories and nobody will know the difference. And it's true. How can you talk about a crystal and say this is what that crystal does when the invisible between the person, hello, and the crystal, hello, don't see anything? Oh, but I feel better. Yeah, but nothing's happened, mate, because I've been brought up with science, and science tells me I've got to see it. It's got to visibly see it. Science tells me it's all hocus pocus. Joe Rogan tells me that hocus pocus, it's all bullshit. Okay, Joe, so you know what you're talking about. Why? Because it's invisible, and it's all in the mind, right? So it's difficult when I talk about crystals, coming from a place of I didn't believe in any of these things, to I've seen the reaction on my client. I've seen what happens when I lay, let's say, dioptase. If I just take a piece of dioptase and lay that on the client's forehead or in their throat chakra, and I start working around that with pure energy healing, which is a form of energy that comes through us, and it's a natural thing that we start to work on the neck, and we start to feel things. Might actually start to feel it in our neck. We might start to feel something, or we might start to subtly, or sometimes very rare, see something like, look at the hell of that neck. What the hell is going on? And you realize that there's something inside the neck. There's something is like moving. And here's the dilemma for me. And it is a dilemma. I'm not scientific based, but I don't believe when people say things unless I truly know it's true. I don't just believe things. So there has been times over 12 years, I've had a phone later on of those 12 years that I've taken the phone out and I've taken a video of somebody's neck or throat while they're asleep and it's happening. And at that point, I felt sick. I felt like I've intruded. I shouldn't have done that. I should have asked. So I delete it. I literally delete it and put it down. And I say to myself, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? This is ego. You're just trying to prove to other people that it exists. You don't need to be Dr. Emoto. You're Mark Bayerski. You're doing a healing session. People will never get it. Even if you do it, it won't make any difference. They won't believe. So why are you doing this? And a couple of times it actually happened where I'm down at, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but there was a lovely lady who used to come to see me every time I was down at Vitamina in Centro Idea, no longer there. But I used to work downstairs. She asked me to work downstairs, and she was a lady who used to ride a push bike, and she was a German lady. She never spoke any English at all, but she used to love coming for a healing session. And there was one particular time I was giving her a healing session. And I can tell you that the room downstairs, I never like the lights on. I like it more darker in the sense of natural lighting rather than lots of lighting. So if there was, I'd only maybe have a light further away so I could really focus on the energy, because when it's too light, I can't really focus. And there's something about too light I didn't like. I like natural light. So the problem was downstairs, it didn't have windows. So that was always difficult. And we had to cleanse and clear it all the time. So I'm working on this lady. And for some reason, she was a lovely lady. She always wore clothes which were a little bit, let's say, teenager kind of thing, right? And she had kind of a top on. And you could see a belly button. And she was in her 80s. No, she's probably in her 70s, 70 something. So you could literally see her stomach. So we did what we normally do. She doesn't speak English. I don't speak German. We give each other a cuddle. And I start to ask her to put the oil on. For some reason, this is in quotes, for some reason, I always do this. For some reason, I asked her to put the oil on her stomach. Never asked her to put her oil on the stomach before. So she got my healing oil. And then I felt like I wanted to, I just wanted something else. So I went into my bag again and I got out the cleansing oil. And I asked her to rub it on her hands and rub that on her stomach too. So I asked her to breathe it in for 10 or 15 seconds. So I don't talk. I just go. Pretty easy. You get used to it when your clients don't speak your language. You've played that game before, haven't you? So she's lying down. I have the music on. I know we're meant to be talking about geoengineering, but sometimes I go off on a different direction for some reason. So I'm sat down now. She's on the healing bed, and I've got my hands, and I'm start to work on her head. So I know that there's a lot going on in her head. I know without us telling me anything, I know that there's a lot of problems with the family. I can feel that she misses her family. I can feel that she's not connected to her family. I feel that she feels very, very much alone. I feel that she feels vulnerable. I feel like if she falls down at any given moment, nobody's going to be there to help her. I'm feeling if you're a healer, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. You get these feelings. The feelings are frequency and energy that you read. So you can read energy and frequency coming off people, especially if you're close vicinity and you're working on them. Or if you sat with them, what's wrong with you today? I'm just in a bad mood. Yeah, I can feel it, right? So I'm feeling it. Something starts to happen that, again, no words, you can't explain it, but you can feel something very profound is happening. And this is where I got the phone out. The phone is playing the music, right? My phone played the music. It was next to me there. I'm doing this, got my eyes closed. It's about 15, 20 minutes in. And then for some reason, I open my eyes. She's fast on, snoring, always a good sign. So snoring normally means that a bit like a cat and a dog if they turn upside down. If a cat turns upside down on you and it's like that, it means it trusts you. And a dog, it means that they're in trust. If they're asleep on you, they trust you. It's a good sign. It's a lovely sign. So if a client's asleep, it means like literally they have to trust you if they're asleep. They wouldn't fall asleep if they didn't have a kind of if they felt a little bit uneasy, they wouldn't really sleep. They'd be in their brain. So when they're asleep, something profound happens. That's with every client. You go beyond the beyond. You go beyond the mind. You go much deeper, and there's a connection between the soul, the spirit, and the healing session. It's almost like the spirit says, "Thank you. It's just what I needed. Now let's work on things that this client couldn't do, the person couldn't do." So you're giving them this energy, and I'm like, right, something's happening with the stomach. Right. I don't know why I asked her to put 2 oils on the stomach, but now I'm starting to see why. So literally the stomach is like this, right? She's not got a big stomach at all. It's just she's actually quite well. She's healthy in a way that you would think not to worry about. Like she's at an age where things start to happen, but her stomach is flat, really. Okay. So, hard to explain. So, a stomach's like that. And then all of a sudden, this is what happens. A stomach starts to get, I can't explain it. I can't show it yet. But, okay, so this is the stomach. And all of a sudden, this is what happens. Okay. So, many times this happens, and it's called breathing. Okay, so some people breathe and their stomach will move. Okay, but it wasn't the stomach, because her breath was different from what was happening with the stomach, and it wasn't at a certain beat. So I'm watching the stomach. The lighting isn't the best of lighting. It's fairly dark, but I'm watching this stomach doing this. And then I'm watching it doing this. So I've got a bump, and the bump, it literally, if you've ever watched the Alien, Sigourney Weaver, there was a point that there was something in a guy's stomach and it was moving. It was, let's say, 5% of that being 100%. So something was moving in the stomach. And it wasn't just central. It would move along and then push up and then move there and then push up. So I'm like, she's fast asleep. Okay. I'm like this, filming it. And I'm filming it. And I'm excited. And I've got one hand here and I'm filming it. And I'm watching this stomach do the most weird things. I stopped filming after about a minute, 2 minutes. That was enough. I don't need to show you anymore. I can show everybody and prove it. So now I have to do the work. What's going on? So I stand up and I go to the stomach and I place my hand over the stomach and I hold one hand out. And I normally what comes out of my mouth is it reminds my mind to stay focused, and that is that no darkness can stay where light is. You have no power over me. The light will always clear the darkness. It would be mumbling in a very, very gentle way, but I am not frightened of whatever this is. Now, I knew what this is wasn't negative energy causing a reaction. This was what is now, and people are talking about it now, is an attachment, is entity. At this moment, I don't know how bad it is. I don't know if it's like demonic, where it's really full on, or whether it's just bad, but not as bad as causing distress. So when you are a healer, Jesus, when you're a healer, you talk to yourself a lot. And what you're actually doing is talking to your soul. So your brain and your soul is trying to have a conversation, trying to understand things. Your brain only has a limited understanding. So where I'm going is, what is this brain? If the brain said, and I've learned to teach my brain to shut up. If the brain doesn't know, my brain shuts up. And then I call again, what is it? And my consciousness kicks in, or whoever's in the room as a spirit coming to help will answer. Have I done this before? What is this? What's going on? My brain's saying, well, hang on. The woman isn't going crazy. She didn't come in screaming, saying, I've got something inside me that I can't get rid of. That's the brain coming up with all of these things like, okay, that makes sense. So this isn't as bad as what it could be. So let's just focus and send light. Let's get rid of it till it's gone. So I follow whatever this is within the stomach. It is real. It is moving, and I can feel it. Is it bad? Didn't feel bad, but I've got to say, it looks weird. And for some reason, it never really bothered me when I saw things happening with people's necks. Always the necks, always the stomach. Weird stuff. So an hour and 20 minutes goes by. It's gone. It's no longer. Because I do this. I do like what's called a scan of the body, and my hand will go up and down the body, right to the tip of the toes, right up to the crown of the head, and I will go down each arm and thoroughly feel, is anything there that I need to work on? So it was all gone. It was good. So that is something that, as a healer, we realize that, we come home or we go and sit by a tree. Can things get inside us? Can they just sit there and we don't even realize sometimes? Yes, it's true. It can happen. Does it happen all the time? No. Do entities show themselves that way by doing that? No, very rarely. So what was that with an entity that can sit in your mind, especially when you've got, I don't know if I ever mentioned to you guys on a side note, I did say that I believe that there is a connection between parasites in the brain and entities. There's a connection. I can't explain what it is, but I believe there's a connection. And somebody sent me a video the other day, and I posted it, and it was of a tapeworm in somebody's brain. A tapeworm in somebody's brain. So the doctors, the surgeons cut out, thinking they were going to find the bag, which is, I believe, also similar. I think all of that poison, there's all sorts of crap in there, and I think there's parasites in there, but that's just my own belief. But they found this huge tapeworm in the brain. So tapeworms can be anywhere, and they can cause great pain and suffering. On a side note, it's mentioned that if you've got a headache, it's probably because there's not enough salt inside your body, because your brain doesn't suffer from pain, in the sense of if you cut the brain open, you won't feel any pain, apparently. So it's because of the breathing in and out, the expansion, distraction. So salt is good. Just on a side note, that's what they tell us. Okay, but I do believe personally that if we have parasite in the brain, it does cause head issues and pains. But I think everybody has their own thoughts and beliefs. But I think that everybody who believes something, I believe there's another 1,000 people who are also right. So nobody's got the right answer. But what you must do is always follow what feels right. So you get a wealth of information. Now you've got information overload. It's putrid. It's horrible. It's too much, and a lot of it's lies. That's why now more than ever you have to discern things that are happening, and you're going to be fooled all the time. But sometimes if you listen to your consciousness rather than your brain, you'll find that you'll be pulled towards the right thing. So the best way to do that is choose a crystal in the morning out of 10 or 15. Learn to feel which one feels right. Then go out and learn to feel which tree feels the best tree for you to touch. Then go out and go to your grocers, your natural greengrocers, your herbalist, and choose what feels right that day. Choose what fruit that you feel you should need, because what you're doing is you're connecting to your consciousness rather than your brain. Your brain does know certain things, but it doesn't know certain things. So here's the double-edged thing. Sometimes your brain will say, well, A, B, C, and that's why you need this. And that's how you use the brain. That's great. But if you can go beyond the brain and try and attune to your consciousness, your spirit always knows what the vehicle needs more than the brain. And sometimes you go, what? That? Really? And then your client has it. And then your client rings up and says, you're not going to believe this. It's gone. The pain's gone. Okay, so maybe you did need that then. Yeah, maybe I did. So that was the story of my life. People would laugh and say, well, milk thistle. I'm like, I don't know what milk thistle is. I just saw a bottle of milk and I saw a Scottish thistle. And I said, milk thistle. And then they found out and that's when I first started. I didn't know about herbs and stuff. And then they're like, oh, I got some milk thistle. I've taken it 3 times a day. It's gone. I have no more pains. None. So you learn to understand that there is another place you can go. There is another place you can go. Guess where that is? That's inside your consciousness, your spirit, inside here, not up here. So, geoengineering. Oh, let's just listen to this, shall we, before we do the geoengineering.
Spinning between Farnham and Albert Pike. Hold the camps in a remote, rural and quiet part of the country. It emerged in court today that Reuben would lace sweets with tranquilizer and give them to children before they went to bed. Mary Pryor, KC, for the prosecution, said he'd been playing this sweet game with children for years, getting them to eat the sweets as quickly as they could and telling them to chew properly. Little did they know that actually they were being drugged, and often the children would become unwell. In previous years, the court heard that it had been put down to the children being overwrought with excitement about being away. But this year, a child was so unwell, he became unconscious. Reuben denied.
I don't know why that's gone off because, hang on, I've got powerful 6G. What's going on? Yeah, whatever. It's fast internet, powerful internet. Yeah, whatever, pal. So this is a gruesome and very normal story that happens every day all over the world because of what I call dark spirit inside these bodies. So you're a light spirit. You come from a beautiful world. When you see children, you laugh, you want to love them and take care of them. You get excited because they're so filled with joy and great energy. They make you feel good. These kind of monsters on here, this kind of monster, okay, looks normal. Oh, look, he's got a nice smile. Lovely man, isn't he? Oh, yeah, he works for, let's say, children. Yeah, he does things for children. That's right, yeah. But he isn't really a man, and he isn't like you, because inside that body is a dark spirit that runs the body, that basically drives the body. So your body, your consciousness drives that body of yours. His consciousness drives him, and his unconscious or dark conscience and your light conscience are very different when we meet children. So when he meets children, all his consciousness wants is to feed from it. It wants to hurt it and cause it pain. Now, our understanding of hurt and pain is completely different from his, because his desire to cause pain and suffering isn't pain and suffering in his spirit. That is food. That is his hug. That is his enjoyment. That is what he feeds from. So he does not see raping a child as bad. No matter what you say, that's why you can't fix something that can't be fixed. That is the spirit that drives the body. When we see children, we give them a hug. It makes us feel good because they're smiling and happy. If we see a child crying, we feel bad straight away. What's wrong? What can we do? We're panicking. You know, remember that when you had a baby, you didn't know what to do when your baby was crying. It was awful. Your heart would beat like mad and you just want the baby. And then when the baby starts smiling, the joy that comes over you. Well, reverse that. Remember what I said about religion? The top of religion, there's Ave Maria, and underneath is where the sacrifice, where the real truth is. The lie, the truth. The truth is underneath always. The lie is look at that.
One of the sexual offences he was charged with, but today
this guy here, look at
to a total of
that guy's smile. That's the religion. That's the church. That's the Vatican. But inside, underneath, is the real truth. So by the way, this happens every day, all the time, and it is 100%. You'll say, how could that happen over the 30 years? It's happened over thousands of years, because we live in a world where this dark spirit that resides in these bodies, you don't know who they are, you have no idea who they are, they might smile and be lovely, but they are the dark spirit that feeds from children, and they're everywhere. So like when I was a kid, I might have told you the story. I was only young, and I went to St. Patrick's School in Huddersfield. We went on a trip, and it was I think it was at like a weekend or 4 or 5 days. We all saved up as kids. Mum and dad helped us save up. We went trying to sell stuff to go on this trip, and it was a place just like here, right? So it was a place where it used to belong to the military, and all the soldiers used to, do the assault course. So there was a big barn where we'd dance in there at night, and then we'd do activities during the day. And at night, one night, out of nowhere, a rumor circulated. Like I'm looking, I'm only a small kid. I'm looking, everybody's crying. Lots of people are crying in tears, panicking. And of course, I want to know what it is. And apparently, somebody's seen a man with an axe, and he's got a beard with no hair, and apparently there's a severed head in a bin. So, like, as a kid, you start like getting this fear, like, is it true? Everybody's saying it. Is he coming to kill us, right? Of course, there was nobody there, and it wasn't kids making this story up. It was actually an adult that made the story up. And why? Because that night, many years later, I got to find out from one of the kids who went through this, the teacher who made that up in the barracks ended up with children in his bed because they were so frightened. They call it problem, reaction, solution. David Icke calls it that. Create the problem. You've got a reaction, then the solution is coming to bed with me, children, and I'll keep you safe. What's happened to me? True story. In Huddersfield on New Hay Road, there was a discotheque belonging to my, she wasn't my auntie, but my mum knew her. She wasn't, she was a difficult person, really. She was kind to me, but she was challenging, very challenging. She had a bad life right at the end. I don't know if she's still alive or not, but anyway, I don't want to tell names, but next door was a man called Donald, and basically he rented an upstairs flat, and all the kids used to go to Donald's flat. Why? Because he had a 10-pin game, 10-pin. I don't know if you remember him. You put money in, and this ball comes out, and you go ping, and you go ping, 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 and he'd got loads of other games in his room, and loads of kids used to go. All of us, we all used to go, and he was a great guy because he used to run the clubs. Not the scouts, the clubs. They called it clubs. It was the next below scouts. And he was one of the men who ran it, okay? So, safe guy, right? Well, no, he wasn't safe, because what he would do, and it would come to fruition after many years, that he would offer people drinks, and in that drink, he would spike the drink, and then he would rape them all. And over years, he raped many, many, many children. Okay, I can tell you this is where it gets really awful, right? This is where I don't truly understand life, and that is, why is it that certain people have to go through rape and others don't? It's like, why is that? What is that about? I don't truly understand that per se. I can't really 100% say why. All I can say is that there is a malevolent, there is a dark energy that feeds from children all the time, every day. That's why children go missing and so on. So I remember going there, and I went on my own. We always used to go together with 3 or 4 lads, and we were only young, really young. So I remember being there on my own once, and I was playing on the game, and he offered me a drink. Every time he offered me a drink, I never drunk it. No idea why. Remember that? No idea why. Something in that no idea why. Trust that no idea why. Trust it. No idea why, but I'm going to trust that. And I remember this very well, because you would do. For some reason, he asked me to sit on the bed. Now the bed was there, and all it was like a bed sit. His room was like a bed sit, but he did have like a little kitchenette. So he asked me to sit down at the edge of the bed, and I was playing the game, and I was a bit like upset because I was playing the game. I was enjoying it. He had like loads of games. He had like Space Invaders, all these big games that, cost a lot of money. You can see his investment, because he's a dark energy like this. He has to invest because he needs to feed. His reward is feeding from children. So he starts talking to me, and I didn't understand. And he starts trying to tickle me. Like, he starts tickling me. And that feeling that overcomes you, that this isn't tickling, this is more. Your spirit says you're in danger, and a kind of cold and freeze comes over you. It's like a freeze, and you know that you're actually starting to go into the best way to explain it. You're like in a dream. You're in a dream state, because I think your body knows it's getting ready to go into some kind of fight and flight. He pushed me down onto the bed and starts tickling me and then starts to pull my top up. And in that second, when he starts to do that, the doorbell rings. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. And he stops. He walks downstairs, opens the door. Jeremy's at the door. I flew out of that door, ran off, never went back since. It's hard as a child to explain what happened, but you knew something was wrong. But as a child, you never really said things about elders because you'd get clouted, because you'd be a little liar or whatever. He got away with it for 30, 40 years. And so I'm just sharing that story with you. Monsters are everywhere. So here's a good one. Don't leave your kids with people that you don't know. Don't even leave your kids with people that you do know. If you can, do your best to just take care of your children on your own, because the only person you know is you. So it's just not worth it, because it happens in families, uncles. Unfortunately for me, I was brutally put into situations as a reader and a healer that it's difficult for me to see love and joy and happiness every day. Having sat with people that had been raped, women that had been raped by husbands, children that had been raped by uncles, cousins, brother-in-law, sister, and all. It's like, I've seen so much bad stuff. I've been involved with that energy that it's hard to still have joy. And I've said that to a friend of mine, because I've lost my joy. I definitely have lost my joy. I was a lot happier before I was a reader. I can tell you that as a fact. I laughed and joked a lot more. But it's hard. But in any case, where were we? Geo-engineering. It's taking a while, eh? How far are we on? 42 minutes. I didn't even talk about geo-engineering. Well, got to be a reason why. So I'm still glad that you're here. For the past year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, for the past 4 years, I have to be honest, I've had to work really, really hard to keep my joy up and what little there is left inside, because of what I feel is happening here in Spain, what I feel is happening in the world. So every day I will sage, every day I'll work with crystals, and I will use oils every day. Every day I will meditate. Every day while I'm here, I will work on all my oils, put energy into my oils. Every day I will listen to my beautiful music. It's all on here. I will either listen to the Gregorian chant, or I will listen to my own music, which I love wholeheartedly. Love my music. Play them all. Well, why wouldn't I? It's the music that I tell you to listen to. Everything that I use, every crystal I work with, I share with you. I mean, what is that in this world? People are telling people to buy things and they don't even use it. It's like, what's going on, right? To me, it's disgusting. Anyway, it is what it is. But so I kind of wanted to make an experiment this year. And that experiment was, I left for Bali November. I left I think it was the first day of October to Bali. I'm lucky enough to go to Bali. And I've talked about Bali loads of times. Okay. I've talked about the good and the bad things about Bali. So I went to Bali. How was I? I was just as I would normally be. I was just maybe run down, a bit tired, a bit exhausted. Hard to find joy. Even though I work with crystals every day, it's still hard to find true joy for what we're seeing, what's going on. So I got to Bali. First day was a bit difficult. Second day, like I had something in the bedroom. It was weird. It was an entity. It was very strong. I think I made a video on that. And then I saged the room and it was much better. But then I just felt I want to leave this room for some reason. I still don't want to be in here. I just want to move to a different part and see what it's like somewhere else. So I moved to a different place. It was lower down, but it was still outside. There's still a window and there was a wall. It wasn't a brilliant view, but energy felt better. So the 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day, 6th day, 7th day, 8th day, 9th day, 10th day, 11th day, 12th day, 13th day, 14th day, 15th day, 15th day, 15th day of drinking fresh coconut water, looking up at the skies, seeing the beautiful blue sky, no lines in the sky, just beautiful blue sky. Going to various places, riding to the mountains, going to the volcano, going to the lakes, going to the top of the cliffs, going to the sea, and just literally doing what I would normally do in a day, like going online and uploading videos, doing some lives, and then going off like I do here, go off and, go into nature and stuff. So there's not much difference in what I do. What I eat is extremely similar because I've got fresh coconuts as well here, which I pay a bloody fortune for. So I have fresh coconuts. I eat the same kind of food. Okay, some of the fruits and vegetables are different, but that still fruit and vegetables. Anyway, so 15th day came, and this is honest to God's truth, right? There's nothing worse than knowing that you don't have your smile. I don't think there's anything it makes me want to even start to cry now. What happened to my smile? I can't even smile at people anymore. What have they done to us, guys, that I have lost my smile? If I smile, it's false, so don't smile. If you're going to smile, smile. Otherwise, don't smile because it's false. This is what I'm telling myself. This is what the conversation is inside. On the 15th day, for some strange reason, something happened. And I had a massage with this guy, I think 2 nights before. So I think it was the 15th. Might have been a bit later. Forget the dates. But just imagine this. I have a massage with this healer. And he spent 2 hours using this on my back, on my shoulder, lower back, and I was crying with tears in pain. And he's saying to me, this is years of suffering. This is years of pain that you've stored. I've been a healer. No matter how much you cleanse and clear, you're going to store some stuff. I broke my shoulder really bad. I mean, I've got pins in here, all the way down here, loads of pins and metal, really bad. So he's calling them negative energies, which he says this crystallize. Once they crystallize, this is deep and we need to get rid of it. My head was on what's called, it's a round thing that if you've ever had a massage, your head goes into it. Well, it wasn't a healing bed. It was a normal bed, but he put this thing on there. So my head's in there. And I know it sounds awful, but I was so much in pain that saliva was just pouring out of my mouth because I wanted him to stop, but I didn't. I know you might think, oh, man flu. Literally, guys, I was bruised for 2-3 days. I had bruises, black bruises. So this wasn't pretty. It wasn't lovely. It was awful. It was painful. But at the same time, my spirit says, don't tell him to stop, because after this, something's going to happen. And it did. Now, I've had massages with loads of people. I've had Swedish massages, I've sports massage, and yeah, they've been good. But something happened here which was beyond explanation. because then after those 2 days of not being able to walk properly, being in so much pain after that massage, I got up one day and I walked down the stairs, and the Balinese lady at reception said, "Good morning, Mark." And I went like this, "Good morning." And I walked out of the door and I stopped. And something said, "You've just smiled." I can't tell you the joy that started to come, because it was a natural smile. And from that day on, right the way till the day I got back, 2 days after, I smiled at people and people smiled back, and I mean a genuine smile. And I had so much gratitude for the smile and so much gratitude for feeling that back again. I can't explain to you exactly what this means because it might sound so cheesy, but it's not. It's something that I've recognized at this moment, and that's why I wanted to make this video. Listen, guys, here's the truth. Today is the 16th. It's been 16 days since I've been back. In that 16 days, that sky has been filled with what I know to be barium, brontium, aluminium, and more than that, much more than that. It is coming down on me, as it is everybody else here in Spain, in a brutal way. In 15 days, I can honestly say to you that yesterday I woke up and I realized that we are systematically being poisoned. It might seem like a gentle poison. You might think you're okay. You might think that your little illnesses and pains, you might think that your feelings of bit down and all that is natural. Well, I am here today to tell you this. I am a healer and I understand energy. I am a healer and I understand the body more than any doctor. I can tell you that as a fact, in a way of feeling what's going on in my body. Doctor knows nothing about my body. I know my body. And I can tell you this, when I got off that plane till today, I have seen in 15 days, not just the dumbing down, not just the cloud now that hangs in my mind, not just the feeling of my eyes not seeing well, not the feelings that I feel that are making me feel a little bit depressed, not just the feeling of feeling like I'm climbing up a hill, that my body's feeling sicker by the moment, that I have to work on myself and feel all of these bad thoughts and feelings, and feeling my body not being able to walk up them stairs like I did in ballet. Now feeling like my pain is starting to come back here and there. I'm here to tell you today that I know 110% that we are being not just dumbed down by these poisons, but they are killing us. They are killing us and making us sick. Because when I was in ballet on day 15, 16, 17, 18, I flew up and down stairs. I had joy in my heart. My mind was clear than when I was a child. I felt joy and gratitude. I felt the true body that it's meant to feel. I am here now and I'm telling you, they are attacking us. They are attacking us by poisoning us. And yesterday, the skies were absolutely loaded with shite everywhere. It was covered with cloud, but under the cloud, when it surfaced, you could see all the spray. I could feel it. I couldn't breathe properly. I couldn't sleep right. I couldn't feel right. I was dazed. I felt terrible and awful. And you know why? Because today there isn't a spray in the sky. I woke up feeling a lot better, a lot more clearer, had a bit of a smile. I am being shown by what I believe is my world, and they are telling us that we are under attack, and that I am being shown I am being clearly shown, here you go, Mark. This is why you're sick. Here you go, Mark. Today, look how clear it is. Look how you're feeling. Here you go, Mark. We'll take you to Bali. Here we go, Mark. You've now spent 1 month in Bali. How do you feel? Never felt better in my life. I can't remember feeling better. I can't remember feeling like I'm like 20 years old in my body. I feel strong. I feel amazing. I can't remember feeling so joyful that I'm just happy about everything and everybody. What's going on? I come back here and it's now the 16th and now I'm struggling. And I tell you this, guys, they've created a poison to make us struggle. This isn't about psychology. It isn't predominantly about the black screen. It's more so about what they're doing to us, what they're spraying on us. And that's where I'm leaving it. Believe it not. I don't care whether you believe it or you don't believe it. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not even going to tell you what to do to get out of it because I don't know. I have no idea. I do everything that I do, but when it's constant, when it's 24/7, okay, not today, but nearly 24/7, we are literally fighting to survive. The sickness and illness is not our body. It is what they're doing to us. The depression and the feeling bad and the cloudiness and the loss of memory and the eyes and the pain in your joints is not because you're getting older. I have just proven it. I am 58 years old and I felt younger and stronger, mind, body, and spirit than ever because I was in Bali. Oh, it's because you're on holiday. No, it was nothing to do with on holiday. I live in Spain. I'm on holiday every day. I've got the sun here every day. Oh, well, it must be something else. Why must it be something else? Why can't it be what we're actually seeing? Why can't it be what we're actually knowing? Why can't it be Occam's razor? And it is. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I don't know what we can do. What are we up against? A malevolent, a dark, a demonic set of species that like to rape children? Do you honestly think that these people want you to be happy and joyful? That they want you to be well? They want you to be free, strong, appreciate everything, be confident, feel love and passion, and give and share and community? Or do you think they want to cause as much pain and sufferings that they can easily control us and that you won't do anything when they're busy raping the children that they do every day at the highest levels of nearly every walk of life? I do wish you a lovely day from the bottom of my heart. This video was food for thought. That's all. It was entertainment purposes only for YouTube, for Mr. Zuckerberg. And it was all allegedly. So there you go. I shall see you later if you want to join us for a little bit of uplifting chat. You can try anyway. So if you just mark it down somewhere tonight, hopefully round about 7 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Spain time, round about then, just hop over to Dominic and Chris's channel. It's called Sheep Farm. So I shall be a guest on Sheep Farm tonight. So if you want to join us and put some questions to us, please do. And yeah, wishing you all a lovely day. Till tomorrow or till tonight. See you later on. Take care. Oh, do you want to say bye to Lily? Say bye, Lily. Oh, a little bit. Want to say bye to Lily? I'm having a bad hair day, darling. Oh, you pretty. Oh, the beautiful. Missing Mummy a bit. Missing Mummy. Mummy's gone for a few days. Oh, the beautiful. Where's my Mummy? Oh, baby. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. And he gives you everything that you want. He loves you with all his heart. Yes, he does. Mummy will be back soon. Mummy will be back soon. We take you for a walk. We go for a walk in the park. We go for a walk in the beach. I love you. What's a good girl? It's a beautiful girl. Oh, big stretch. Big stretch. All right, guys. Ciao, ciao. Lily says goodbye. Take care. May see you later on. Yes, we'll go for a walk now. We go for walkies. We're going for a walk. We're going for a walk, guys. Love you all.